has Pan-Africanism worked? The answer is no, it hasn't worked. It hasn't worked for the reason that when the Europeans were dividing Africa among themselves, they created artificial borders. You'll find a country like Uganda is bordering with Kenya, Rwanda, Congo, Sudan, Tanzania, that you find people of the same ethnic grouping in these areas. They are in two different countries. Now, being two different countries means they are divided artificially. What has that done? That has made, while these people want to come together for ethnic reasons like clans, the governments cannot allow them to come together. They are subjected to different policies, economic policies, political policies, and all other policies. So this has been one of the major hindrances to the Pan-Africanist movement. Two has been the development patterns and ideologies of different countries. East Africa, Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, were together for a long time. The British established the East African Common Services Organization to be able to bring common services together with East Africans. For instance, the railways, the post system, the airlines, the banking system, all these they thought if these countries did this together, it made more sense and was much more economical. However, because of the different development patterns in these countries, Tanzania went socialist by the Arusha Declaration in 1967. Uganda in 1969, Milton Obote as president declared the Common Man's Charter, they moved to the left. Whereas Kenya remained as a capitalist bastion in the region. So these developments could not allow the East African community to succeed. And today, the East African countries are looking at establishing a common currency. In 1967, the common currency was destroyed. Each country came up with its own currency. So already, these countries had started on the effort of coming together, developing together, but this now turned into a tragedy. In 1977, the East African Airways was disbanded by Kenya because Uganda at that time with Idi Amin, they would never see eye to eye as leaders. So the Pan-Africanism has been constrained by the different ideological movements in the different countries. So if you go into a country like Zimbabwe, Mozambique, who had socialistic orientations, they could not work well with those countries that were capitalist oriented. The large number of those who struggled for independence in Africa thought that the best way in which Africa could develop was through coming together as a group of people, identifying their common interests and identifying strategies that could enable them solve Africa's problems. Among the challenges they got, which really they didn't think about, was that the colonial masters were here possibly for 100 years plus. There were never elections in these countries. So as they go out, they ask you to have elections. And how do you expect Africans who have not had elections before to successfully mount elections? Today, the developed world is looking at Africa and saying you must be democratic, you must hold elections. However, the important point has been that African countries needed to come together, and indeed in 1963 they did come together to form the Organization of African Unity. The Organization of African Unity was perceived and established with a view to bringing Africans together with their common challenges, finding common strategies to be able to achieve the solution of social economic transformation. So Pan-Africanism is simply a movement of those people who have the same thinking that Africa's problems are uniquely common. It's about poverty, it's about diseases, it's about lack of education, and yet Africa has the resources, and that Africans should come together to use those resources to be able to develop themselves and possibly find their position among the developed countries in the world.